We're going to look at two different drawings here. One is this drawing here, which has which shows existing controls, and then the other drawing is this one here, and this one shows controls at the zone valve itself, at the nozzle itself, with controls by Webb right there. So you can see that controls by Webb. We'll take a look at the pricing here. Let's see. Right here we've got $1,220 worth of controls there, pricing wise, and most of it is in this in this section right here. But this, we've got a smoke sensor in here, a humidity sensor, and an airflow sensor to do monitoring. And then we've got the controls by Webb control, and a power supply, and then a network switch. And then this is the Wi-Fi broadcasting device that would go back to a central control and then back to the internet. So that would give us the ability to control this solenoid valve here, and this pressure switch. The pressure switch would the pressure switch would work in there also to make sure that these controls don't work. The solenoid doesn't work unless the pressure is up. So, but you can see that it's pretty expensive. But it would give us this control back, a lot of monitoring back at the nozzle itself. If we take a look at the other drawing, this is kind of the more basic, which still does the job pretty well. Again, we've got existing controls here. And if you recall, this looks like the pump package that's out there. We've got a pump down below with a group of solenoids and another group of solenoids over there, and then all the controls, the VFD and the Allen Bradley controls in there. And so that's the existing, and then we've got the XXX amount of feet of line coming out here to the first zone. Hang on here a second. And you've seen this picture right here before. I did it in another video where we've got, I added this inline filter here, but we've got a gauge and we've got some mounting brackets onto the wall duct. And then we've got a pressure switch and a solenoid valve, and it's powered by 24 volts AC. So what would happen here is it would all be run off pressure. So if this pump starts down here and we signal one of these zones to come on, like that one right there, do some erasing here. So we signal this zone to come on, pump starts, builds the pressure up here, comes to this pressure switch, and the pressure switch says, yep, I'm up to pressure, let's start working. And then that pressure switch turns on the solenoid in this timer here. And the timer starts shutting on and off and on and off, and does what it's supposed to do. And then if you recall, we can time these solenoids any way we want, all the zones within the existing. So if we want to time one for a long time, a time one for a short time, we can keep them on. So what would happen is, like I explained, this pressure would, this water would come on, turn the pressure switch on, and when this shuts off, this valve shuts off, the pressure would start to drop, and as soon as the pressure dropped here to about 120 psi, maybe 140, the pressure switch would quit this solenoid, the timer would stop, and solenoid would shut off. And then that would hold the pressure in this line to 120 psi all the way back. So that's kind of a nice feature, holding that pressure in there. And the system would work. So you've seen that we just have, as far as components, we've got a solenoid valve, a pressure switch, a gauge, and I'd like to put this inline filter in here also, and then a couple of brackets. So if we look at this, solenoid valve, $60, timer, $80, pressure switch, all that adds up to about $335. So those are costs again. So that's how, that makes much more sense than this guy right here, which would give us a lot more precise control, and we could have airflow sensors and smoke sensors and know what it's at. But this is not, this smoke sensor is really not proven. So there's just a lot to this, and controlling each zone would be a big headache. So the other one would seem to work quite well. So I think that's all I wanted to say for this. So why don't you look at that and give me some feedback, and we'll talk about it. That'll do it.